Welcome to part 2 of the 10 most common singles mistakes. If you missed the first 5, I'm linking the video below. Check up on those, but let's get going with the other 5 mistakes that I'm seeing across all levels. So let's jump in. Going for way too much, too soon, too early in the rally. So there is a statistic out there, I think the percentage is something between 70 and 75% of the points the pros play, and it depends a little bit on the surface, are only between 1 and 4 shots long. Now, the reason for that is they either ace, hit a unreturnable serve, hit a really good return, unreturnable return, hit a +1, or a +1 off the return. That is not true on the rec level. However, it is very true in my experience that a lot of points, way too many points, are between 1 and 4 hits long because we miss too soon. So here's a great drill. It's serve +1, return +1. That works on the value of the first 2 balls. The serve, and then the ball after your opponent hits the ball back, and the return, and then the first ball you're getting back after you hit your return. So serve +1, return +1. Here's how it goes. So here's serve +1, return +1. Erica is gonna serve, I'll return. She hits 1 more ball, I hit 1 more ball. Done. Do it over and over and over. In the beginning, make it a little bit more cooperative. The point is to keep the first balls in. And of course, you don't want to necessarily baby the ball around, but give yourself good margins, big targets. See? Missed my first return. Good serve, but definitely not unreturnable. So definitely need to work on this. There we go, and that's it. And you notice that both of us went a little bit more through the middle. That's okay. If the ball's deep enough, go through the middle 1, 2 times and then start to spread the point. So let's do it one more time. All right, good. And of course, Erica is greedy to continue playing. The next progression of that drill is that the point only counts if both have made their first 2 balls. So basically, when Erica hits her 3rd ball, that is when the point starts. Oh, that's too short. Oh, don't miss it, Meike. No, you cannot. Coach, I'm double faulting whole games away. That would be her. So then I'm having to turn around. How many times do you go out and practice your second serves only?
Never.
There's your answer. When you practice your serves, don't just go out there bombing first serves. Deliberately work on your second serve so that you don't have to fear your second serve. Yes, 3, 4 double faults a match, they're fine, that happens. But you definitely do not want to give whole games away because you're not practicing your second serve. The next mistake that I see a lot, and that happens a lot of times for newer players, just because they don't have as much experience, is they recover incorrectly. So one thing is, a lot of times we're just rallying through the middle, and of course you recover to the middle. But when you're rallying and you're introducing angles, you have to recover to the bisector of an angle. So what Erica and I are going to do is we're just rallying cross court. Again, rally pace, we want to get long rallies. And my best point of recovery is, I want to say, about a good racket length behind the baseline so that I'm not constantly jammed, and then about a racket length off the hash mark. Because if Erica hits a down the line ball or a sharper cross court, this is the spot that gives me roughly the same number of steps to either one of those more extreme balls. So let's see if we can both recover properly. And we're just rallying for now. Okay, so what a lot of people do, they stand here, and then they have to even move to a ball that's not really as taxing. So make sure that you recover properly. So again, bisector of an angle. Yep, and we're taking out balls. In practice, we take out balls. So now I need to recover a couple of steps. This is when I'm going cross court. Same on the backhand side, of course. And by the way, cross court is your best friend. You go over the lowest part of the net. You have 4 more feet in the diagonal of the court. And yes, you have fewer steps to recover to your best spot of recovery. So don't be like the people who practice their cross courts and then they just recover to here. This is doubles, right? If I'm a singles player and I practice from here, that's not realistic. I need to come back to my spot of recovery. So I need to come back to here. That's a good ball, Erica. And that is work. It's a lot of work. All right, where do I have to recover to if I hit the ball down the line? So if I'm going down the line now, I'm risking for Erica to go into the open court. So I actually have to recover to about here. And I want to split step as she's about to make contact. No, definitely no. Coming in off the wrong balls. Another huge mistake I'm seeing. So on that one, okay, little acting here. Erica came off a ball. When she hit the ball, she was way, way, way behind the baseline, and it takes you way too long to come in. So you want to choose balls to come in with. Just rule of thumb, when you have both of your feet inside the baseline and you can move up to it. And then you just follow the ball as the ball flies. So let's say I'm approaching to Erica's back in here. I'm just following the ball in. Oh, and she's playing it. So I'm just following the ball in as the ball pulls me in. If I'm going to her forehand, I'm shading over to the side, again, that I'm approaching to. Oh, that was a cupcake. All right, so a great drill to work on that is a simple feeding drill. I'm feeding Erica balls that I think she should come in with. She attacks first my backhand, then later my forehand, and we'll play the point out. So I'm feeding her a shorter ball. She attacks my backhand. That's a good deep ball. And she has a play. Let's do it again. Oh, that's good. Ah! Okay, so that was very dramatic, but trust me, I've done that. I'm sure that whoever coached me knew from 8 chords away that I was losing because, yeah, you show bad body language. It's a very normal thing to do, and again, I'm the first one to admit that I used to do that. Here's what you want to do instead. I'm not a big believer that if this is your habit, if you miss a ball and for years you've done this, you're all of a sudden going to like, come on, and doing all this. You don't need that. What you want is at least a neutral body position, neutral face. Think about it, poker face. I don't want to cooperate into a loss by empowering my opponent and giving them anything at all. So ideally, I'm missing my ball. I mean, ideally, I'm not missing the ball at all, but when I miss the ball, I turn away, have my shoulders back, just a fairly faster walk because we tend to slow down and make ourselves small. So what I want to do instead is I want to make myself tall shoulders back, chin up, and a little pep in my step. You don't have to go crazy and yell and scream. That is not necessarily what I mean when I talk about positive reactions. A positive reaction to a mistake is that you figure out what you need to be doing next without beating yourself down even more, because that is also happening.